Most breakdowns of episode 5 are just going to tell you what happened. They'll talk about Juliette getting dragged out of the airlock or the conversation between Bernard and Sims. But if you're only paying attention to the main storyline, you're missing the actual clues about how this world operates. This episode is called Memory and is packed with tiny background details that completely change how we look at the bunker. From the Pacific way mechanical overrides the door to the massive holes in the security network, the show is quietly telling us exactly how the next fight is going to play out. Today we aren't recapping the plot. Instead, we're looking at the Pacific hidden clues that most people completely blink and miss. Before we get started, if you're the type of person who finishes an episode of some sort and immediately goes looking up the theories, any hidden clues you may have missed, or you just want somebody to talk with it about, you're in the right place. If you're enjoying these videos, I really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. It genuinely helps this channel grow, and every new subscriber makes a bigger difference than you probably realize. I put a lot of time in watching, researching, editing, and putting these videos together because I really like doing this. So if you enjoy breaking down the stories with me, I love to have you a part of this community. All right, let's go. Let's start with the opening minutes. Everyone noticed that Jules survived, but people aren't talking about how the crew actually pulled it off. And this detail reveals a massive flaw in how IT controls the bunker. We know from season 1 that the computer system is programmed to lock the airlock doors for 48 hours after a cleaning. The software is built to make sure whoever goes out stays out. But look closely at what the mechanical crew actually does here. They don't touch a single computer terminal. They don't try to hack the code. Instead, they use raw physical force and use manual leverage to force the heavy doors open. This is a huge detail. It proves that even though IT has all its high-tech digital control, the entire silo still runs on basic heavy machinery. If you can physically wrench open a door, the computer rules don't matter. It sets a major rule for the rest of the season. The digital lies on the upper levels can be completely defeated by the physical tools of the lower levels. Now, the second major detail people are ignoring is a sudden failure of the security network. Throughout this episode, Jules' closest friends are meeting right in the open. They are actively talking about a revelation, hiding a fugitive, and moving through the lower levels without getting caught. Now, a lot of viewers might just think that this is lazy script writing for the main character's safeness, but in a show like Silo, where tracking information is everything, this is a deliberate clue. Think about it. Sims is shown staring at a massive wall of monitors, realizing how much tracking power he has now. So why isn't the system flagging a group of known troublemakers hanging out downstairs? There are two hidden reasons for this. First, the automated system relies heavily on face and voice recognition. This means all the physical damage from the recent riots has left the cameras running completely blind on certain floors. Second, it implies someone with a high-level key inside of IT is intentionally turning off the cameras or deleting files in real time to let resistance work. The system isn't perfect, it has massive blind spots, and the characters are accidentally proving it. The next major clue is right in the title of the episode. Memory. Most people think Jules' severe memory loss is just a tragic side effect of the toxic gas. But if you look at the bigger picture, her amnesia is actually a massive defense shield for the underground resistance. Think about how judicial works and they operate. They love to interrogate, do the physical logical pressure, and to pull information out of people. They want names, locations, and hard drive files. Jules literally cannot remember the specific details of her time outside or who exactly helped her hide the hard drives. Judicial can't torture the truth out of her, even if they catch her. Her mind has essentially wiped its own hard drive to protect the rebellion. It forces the resistance to build a brand new plan from scratch, completely unlinked from their past mistakes. Now let's look at another subtle clue that ties back to what Lucas Cal discovered on the projector screens in earlier seasons. When Bernard explains the scale of the outer worlds to Sims, he mentions that the silos are strictly managed by a central hub. Now if you look back at the pattern of lights Lucas mapped out when he was studying the lights in the sky or the stars, whatever you want to call it, the layout matches the exact grid structure of the hidden silo network. The founders didn't just hide the existence of other silos. They built the display screens to mimic the layout of the world they created. Now, Lucas wasn't just looking at random stars. He was accidentally staring at a map of their entire underground colony. Bernard's conversation with Sims confirms that the upper management knows exactly how many dots are on the map, and they're ready to turn those lights out one by one if necessary. Finally, we have to look closely at the wording used when we are mentioning the safeguard. When Bernard tells Sims about this protocol, he mentions that Camille is losing her mind because she's discovered the physical reality of it. When people hear the word safeguard, they usually think of a computer command or a military lockdown, but the clue is in how the silo was built. In past episodes, we've seen the massive deep level pipes and the primary air and water systems that connect all 144 levels. Now, the safeguard isn't just a law, it's built directly into the plumbing, the subtle hint there is that the creators of the silo didn't just build a home, they built a self-contained trap. The toxic gas used to wipe out a rebellious silo doesn't come from the outside world. It is already stored inside the pipes, waiting to be released. This completely changes the stakes. The characters aren't trying to prevent an attack from the outside. They're living inside a bomb that is already wired to go off from the inside. Paying attention to these background details completely changes how you view upcoming episodes. The Resistance doesn't need to outsmart Altie's computers. They just need to use the physical flaws that the founders left behind. Next week's episode is called The Drive, and all these hidden physical clues are likely going to tie directly into the flashbacks of how this entire place was built in the first place. Which of these background details caught your eye the most? Drop your theories in the comments below and let's get the conversation started, because every great story deserves a real good talk. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.